Welcome to another episode on PNG News Brief. Before we dive into looking at PNG's last hope, like, share, subscribe to receive PNG News' latest updates. Anti-corruption watchdog still struggles with funding from government. Despite the chest beating of the national government on the domestic and international stage on the establishment of the country's newest anti-corruption watchdog, the entity is struggling to operate despite it having set funding to enable its operation. It seems even the best of attempts to set up change and address rampant corruption is still subservient to the delays of Waigani. During the hosting of a press conference by the Independent Commission Against Corruption, it was revealed that the yearly budget of the ICAC to operate stands at around $52 million according to the Deputy Commissioner Operation Mr. Daniel Bouch, much of which has not made it through to keep up with the operation. It is what we're told we'll receive. But I will highlight we're also quite clear that that's not enough. We can always do with more, and we're more than happy to have positive conversations with across the law and justice sector with government around what it actually takes and what it means. And we are seeking collaborative responses across government to deal with some of these issues. I think some of the real challenges we have here in Papua New Guinea is the committee process, the overburdensome process of having to always a new plan, always a new committee.
On February 14, 2025, Prime Minister James Marap reaffirmed his administration's commitment to strengthening the Independent Commission Against Corruption, ICAC, as key in fighting corruption. He said, "We have prioritized ICAC as the leading agency in the fight against corruption." He said, "My government is committed to ensuring that ICAC is fully empowered to investigate, prosecute and deter corruption at all levels of government." He said additional funding had been allocated to ICAC to expand its reach to enhance its investigative capabilities.
Lots of talk, where's the action? It was indicated delays in the release of funding would, and has, hampered efforts to get the work of the anti-corruption body to action its mandate. We want to be an agency of action. I'd much rather stand here and tell you about the latest arrest, the next action that we've done, any of those things. Asked how funds are drawn down into the organization, Mr. Bouch indicated ICAC has its own operating account, but this in itself does not guarantee effective delivery if funds are not given on time, with indications of upfront release of funds as an effective action to ensure the entity operates without constraints. We've talked about and had these concepts before where we asked for a lot of our budget funding up front. And what that allows us to do is to actually make strategic decisions in what our priorities absolutely are. The full operationalization of the ICAC is also clearly tied to avoid PNG's grey listing by the Financial Action Task Force, FATF. According to the FATF, the grey list identifies countries with strategic deficiencies in their anti-money laundering/countering the financing of terrorism system. Using a tailored action plan, countries on the grey list are assessed by and work with a group of experts to fix the gaps in their system. It is a peer-led process. The experts, who come from the region and around the world, offer guidance on where the country should focus its often limited resources to make the most significant impact to reduce illicit financial flows. This allows listed countries to build a more robust system and better defend themselves against financial crime, ultimately benefiting not only the country, but also the global financial system. In addition, Mr. Bouch indicated with the delays the impacts will affect the jobs of the staff of the Commission. So, realistically, where we're currently at is the most important thing is our salary to our people. We need to support those in our agency that support us and do the doing. We need to give confidence to our people that they're going to be supported. So, that's our primary focus. The reality is a lot of where we are at the moment, we've got to really watch our budget. As does every agency. It's part of your accountability and part of your responsibility, and you've got to prioritize. When asked about current conversations between the organization and finance and treasury, Mr. Bouch indicated positive engagement at the moment with the government around that funding. But PC Online understands while this may be issues of cash flow and administrative in nature, it could also be one of lack of priority to a vital entity and may look bad on the country in its attempts to avoid the grey list deadline by October this year, which could have greater ramifications on the financial systems that PNG need with the global community through business and investment and assistance at all government levels. That's all for this episode. Stay tuned for next. Bye for now.